Stem and leaf diagrams. Here is a stem and leaf diagram showing the marks obtained by 30 boys in a maths test. So our stem goes from 0 up to 9 and our leaf has an array of numbers. So for example, this 9 here on its own represents 9 marks. So this student got 9 marks in his test. This 5 here represents 35 marks. So this student got 35 marks. This 8 here represents 68. So this student got 68 marks. This 7 here represents 87. This student got 87 marks. This 1 represents 91. This student got 91 marks. So the lowest mark on the test was 7, and the highest mark on the test was 91. We're told in the question that there were 30 boys, but if we'd not been told that and asked how many students were involved, we could just count up the number of digits on the leaf side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So there are indeed 30 students. Using the stem and leaf diagram, answer the following questions. What is the lowest mark? Well, 7 is the first digit on our leaf, and since 0 is the stem, it represents 7. So 7 is the lowest mark. What is the highest mark? Well, since 1 is the last number on our leaf, and this represents 91, then 91 is the highest mark. How many students scored higher than 80? Well, these students here scored 73, 74, 75, 79. So none of these students scored higher than 80, and none of the ones above it scored higher than 80. This student here scored 84, so that's higher than 80. This student here scored 87, that's higher than 80. And this student here scored 91, that's also higher than 80. So these 3 students scored higher than 80. So 3 students scored higher than 80, scoring 84, 87 and 91. If 40 is the pass mark, what percentage of the group failed the test? So we need to find out how many students scored less than 40. So these numbers here represent 43, 44, 44, 47, 49. So these students and anyone below this scored 40% or more. So anything above any of these students on our leaf scored 40 or less. So this student scored 35, this student scored 29, this student scored 13, this student scored 14, 7 and 9. So these students scored 40 or less. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. So 6 students scored less than 40 marks. So we need to find what 6 students is as a percentage of the total. So remember, there are 30 students in total. So we're going to say 6 over 30 multiplied by 100 is going to give us 20%. So 6 students scored less than 40 over a total number of 30 students and multiply by 100 to get a percentage, which gives us 20%. So 20% of the students failed the test. 20 people from the audience of a TV program are randomly selected. Their ages are as follows: 15, 14, 25, 23, 33, 45, 13, 51, 62, 48, 19, 57, 47, 56, 44, 11, 38, 46, 21 and 16. Represent the data on a stem and leaf diagram. Stem and leaf diagrams must always be ordered from smallest to largest. But to start this off, I'm going to draw out an unordered stem and leaf. So I'm going to start off by having a look and seeing what's the lowest number on my list. And the lowest number on my list is 11. So I know my stem is going to start at 1. Next I have a look and I see what's the highest number on my list. And the highest number on my list is 62. So my stem needs to go up as far as 6. So next what I do is I go through my list from the first number to the last number, and I write the single digits beside their corresponding stems in my leaf section. And as I use a number, I'm going to cross it off so that I don't forget about it or use it twice. So my first number is 15, so I'm going to write a 5 in beside the 1 and a comma beside it. Then I have 14, so write a 4 beside the 5 and a comma beside it. Then 25, so write a 5 beside the 2 and a comma beside it. Then 23, so write a 3 beside the 5 with a comma beside it. Then 33, so write a 3 beside the 3 with a comma beside it. Then 45, I write a 5 beside the 4 with a comma beside it. Then 13, I write a 3 beside the 4 with a comma beside it. And 51, I write a 1 beside the 5 with a comma beside it. Then 62, I write a 2 beside the 6 with a comma beside it. Then 48, I write an 8 beside the 5 with a comma beside it. Then 19, I write a 9 beside the 3 with a comma beside it. Then 57, I write a 7 beside the 1 with a comma beside it. Then 47, I write a 7 beside the 4 with a comma beside it. Then 56, I write a 6 beside the 5 with a comma beside it. Then 44, I write a 4 beside the 7 with a comma beside it. Then 11, I write a 1 beside the 1 with a comma beside it. Then 38, I write an 8 beside the 3 with a comma beside it. Then 46, I write a 6 beside the 4 with a comma beside it. Then 21, I write a 1 beside the 2 with a comma beside it. And lastly 16, I write a 6 beside the 1. So just to make sure that I've right so far, I'm going to add up the amount of people up here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And then I'm going to add up the amount of digits on my leaf and check is it the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So now I have an unordered stem and leaf. Now I need to order it. So I need to order these numbers from smallest to largest. So in order from smallest to largest, I have 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 1, 3, 5, 3, 8, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 6, 7, and 2. Now very important, I need to include a key. So I can choose any number at all that's on my diagram. So say I wanted to go for 2 and 1. So I'd write the 2 on a line and 1. So the 2 representing the 2 on the stem, the line representing the line between them, and the 1 representing the 1 on the leaf. And I would say that this is equal to 21 years. Because remember, this is all about people's ages. So this 1 here represents 21 years. So part 2 asks, how many people in their 50s are in the audience? So if we have a look down at the 5 on our stem, we can clearly see there are 1, 2, 3 people in the audience who are 50. One person is 51, the next person is 56, and the last person is 57. So there are 3 people in their 50s in the audience.